Apple's big 2018 iPhone keynote was short on surprises thanks to a bevy of leaks that came out ahead of the show. About the only truly shocking moment was Tim Cook's mysterious tweet before the event that turned out to be a bunch of hullabaloo about his missing slideshow clicker. Despite the lack of shocking new products, there was a lot to love at the iPhone XS event, from electrocardiograms to Liquid Retina displays. So in this video, I'm going to run down the biggest takeaways from the Gather Round keynote. Before we get into what's new, I think we should acknowledge that it wasn't too long ago that Tim Cook said he was going to double down on leaks. But that hasn't stopped the rumour mill from churning out all of the info on all of the new devices before they're revealed. This year we knew the design, screen sizes, and even the names of all of the new iPhones before they were announced. But the only thing that wasn't leaked were the prices. And those weren't much of a shocker because the new iPhones are slightly more expensive than last year's models. While we weren't spot on with all of our predictions, if you check out my previous video, you'll see that we were pretty damn close. But let's check out what's new. The Apple Watch received its biggest update yet with the announcement of the Apple Watch Series 4. Not only does it pack a bigger display, but Apple is also adding new health sensors and new internal tech. All of the updates make it the fastest, biggest, most beautiful wearable on the block. In its short existence, Apple Watch has gone from a niche wearable to the most popular watch in the world. Now it's about to become even more indispensable with the first ever FDA approved electrocardiogram being sold directly to consumers. The Apple Watch Series 4 pushes the display right to the edges. The screens are now more than 30% larger and come in 40mm and 44mm sizes as opposed to the 38 and 42mm sizes we've come accustomed to. Despite being bigger, the casing for the Apple Watch Series 4 is smaller than previous models. Series 4 also packs a new optical heart sensor. It now comes with 3 new heart features. The first is a notification if your heart rate is too low. Second, Series 4 can screen your heart rhythm and will send you a notification if it detects an irregular heart rhythm. And last, Apple Watch Series 4 can diagnose your heart rhythm. The third feature is made possible by the electrocardiogram on the back. It's also the first ECG product offered over the counter directly to consumers. To use the ECG, you just tap on the digital crown. Then it takes about 30 seconds for the watch to measure your heartbeat patterns. All of the info is stored in the Health app and can be shared with your doctor. Apple's ECG has already been cleared by the FDA, which is a first for any company. The digital crown has been completely re-engineered to give wearers haptic feedback, to give a more mechanical feel, and to give you more accuracy when scrolling. If you've ever struggled with taking a call on the Apple Watch, you'll be happy to hear that the speaker has been updated to be 50% louder, which is also great for when you're talking to Siri or using walkie-talkie mode. The back of the Series 4 is made entirely of ceramic and sapphire crystal, which allows signals to pass from the front and the back to improve GPS and LTE. Despite getting new features and hardware, the Apple Watch Series 4 still brings all-day battery life. For outdoor workouts, you'll get 6 hours of tracking, which isn't good enough if you're into running 100-mile races, but it'll get the job done for just about everybody else. The thing that might stand out the most on the Apple Watch Series 4 is how many complications fit on its bigger display. There's the new watch face with up to 8 different complications, and each one can be completely customized so you can focus on productivity, friends, or health. Apple updated the modular face too, so you can use third-party apps with it. You'll also be able to choose a more simplified watch face if you find the new one to be way too busy. But all of those options will be nice. New dynamic watch faces interact with the side of the display. There's one for fire, water, and vapor that look really beautiful. Series 4 contains a tiny new S4 chip that has a dual-core 64-bit processor. It's up to 2 times faster than the previous S3 chip. The accelerometer and gyroscope have also been updated with next-gen chips that have 2 times the dynamic range. On top of all of that, Apple has added a new trick that allows the watch to detect falls. It sounds like a minor addition, but it could be huge for older wearers like our very own Leander Caney with fragile hips. The Apple Watch Series 4 with GPS is priced at $399 and starts at $499 with cellular. Pre-orders start Friday, and the wearable will be available in stores September 21st. A lot of people have been dreaming of a plus-size iPhone X ever since last year's keynote, and now it's finally here. Apple announced the successors to the X in the form of the iPhone XS and XS Max, both compacting with a brand new A12 Bionic chip with greatly improved performance and sound, as well as Apple's best displays and even better designs. Meanwhile, the new iPhone XR delivers the flagship iPhone look and some of the best features from the iPhone XS at a more affordable price. The iPhone X has been retired, but they all look like last year's flagship at first glance, with edge-to-edge displays and smooth glass front and backs. But they're bigger, better and more powerful in every way. Starting with the XS, and it's available in two sizes. A 5.8-inch model that replaces the iPhone X, and a 6.5-inch model that shows Apple hasn't forgotten about its iPhone Plus lovers. Both feature OLED screens with support for Dolby Vision and HDR10, with a 1:1 contrast ratio, 120Hz touch sensing, True Tone and 3D touch. According to Apple, they also offer a wider and richer stereo sound experience, but we'll be putting that to the test as soon as we get our hands on them. They're also the first iPhones to offer dual SIM functionality, allowing users to juggle two numbers simultaneously. That's thanks to a traditional SIM card slot and a built-in eSIM that can be connected to a whole bunch of supported carriers. In China, where the eSIM isn't supported yet, iPhone XS and XS Max will ship with two SIM card slots. The iPhone XS and XS Max are powered by an A12 Bionic chip, the industry's first 7nm processor. It's packed with 6.9 billion transistors with a 6-core CPU and a 4-core GPU that's up to 50% faster. Apple has also introduced a new 8-core neural engine that's dedicated to machine learning. Last year's A11 Bionic was capable of processing 600 billion operations per second, but the A12 can process a staggering 5 trillion in the same time. This new neural engine allows for improved portrait mode in the camera app, even better Animoji, and more immersive augmented reality experiences. Face ID also works faster than ever before, thanks to faster algorithms and a snappier secure enclave. The iPhone is the world's most popular camera, and Apple helped its handset secure this crown by delivering the best smartphone shooters every year. The cameras packed into the iPhone XS and XS Max are its best yet, and they deliver jaw-dropping results. There are two sensors on the back of each device, one 12-megapixel sensor with a wide-angle lens and an f1.8 aperture, and one 12-megapixel sensor with a telephoto lens and an f2.4 aperture. There's also an improved True Tone flash and twice as many focus pixels. Thanks to an improved image signal processor, which works alongside the neural engine for the first time, the new iPhones can identify faces and bodies when you're taking a photo and automatically apply adjustments like red eye reduction. By far the most impressive feature of Apple's new cameras is called Smart HDR. It works by capturing numerous frames every time you take a photo to get the best white balance, highlights and shadows, different exposures and more. It then analyses those images, picks out the best bits, and merges them to produce that one perfect photo. All of this happens at lightning speed, and it's incredibly impressive. Both the iPhone XS and XS Max are protected by the most durable glass ever installed on a smartphone. And they have an improved IP68 rating for dust and water resistance. They also last longer than their predecessors in between charges. The iPhone XS and XS Max will be available in gold, silver and space grey with up to 512GB of storage. Prices start at $999 for the smaller model and $1,099 for the larger model. You'll be able to order them this Friday and they'll start shipping September 21st. The iPhone XR delivers the iPhone X experience at a more affordable price. It's powered by the same A12 Bionic chip and sports a gorgeous edge-to-edge display just like its siblings, only this time it's an LCD screen. It's the most advanced LCD ever packed into a smartphone according to Apple, and it's called the Liquid Retina display. The screen measures 6.1 inches diagonally, making it bigger than an iPhone 8 Plus display, but the device itself is smaller. iPhone XR has just one camera, but it's the same 12-megapixel camera found in the iPhone XS and XS Max. That means you get the same great performance, optical image stabilization, and the improved True Tone flash. Apple even managed to deliver portrait mode for the iPhone XR despite just one sensor. The iPhone XR is made from 7000 series aerospace grade aluminium that's finished in either white, black, blue, coral, red or yellow. It also boasts an IP67 rating for dust and water resistance. Prices start at $749 with 64GB of storage, but 128GB and 256GB models will be available. You'll be able to order the iPhone XR next month, and it will start shipping on October 26th. Yesterday's keynote was more notable for the things it didn't include than the iPhones and Apple Watches that were shown. There wasn't any mention of the Air Power Mat that was revealed last year, but still hasn't received a shipping date. Apple didn't even bother to mention wireless charging on the new iPhones. Although that might be because the company didn't want to remind everyone that it still isn't shipping its own wireless power mat. Apple did, however, announce release dates for all of the software we've seen in beta form since this year's WWDC. iOS 12, watchOS 5 and tvOS will be available from September 17th, while macOS Mojave will be available from September 24th. Well, that is it for this video, but let me know your thoughts on this year's iPhone event in the comments section down below. Were you hoping for more, or are you still hyped for what was announced? Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, it really does help me out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.